I'm John Smith. This is my quality of character presentation for MSCE 530 Ethics in Sport. Today I'm going to talk to you about the quality of character courage. We're going to define it, provide some examples, and apply it to the context of coaching and athletics, as well as highlighting some courageous leaders in sport. Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines courage as the mental or moral strength to venture, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. What's important about this particular definition is the mention of moral strength. In today's world, courage is images of physicality, heroic acts resulting in potential harm or even death. But equally as important and often less celebrated is moral strength, moral courage, the willingness to do what is right even at great personal cost. It was Aristotle who said courage is the first of human qualities because it is the quality which guarantees all others. When one looks at some of the other qualities that signify a person of strong character, honesty, love, empathy, service, one can see that courage plays an important role in each of these attributes. Courage is the key to such actions as serving and sacrificing for others, being authentic, being vulnerable, and standing up for one's convictions. Let's take a look at these in greater detail. Those who serve and are willing to sacrifice themselves for others, such as first responders, social activists, military personnel, and law enforcement, have to draw on courage every day. For them, acts of heroism can become almost routine. How is it that they're able to face danger so regularly? Are they just wired differently than the rest of us? Do they not experience fear? Franklin D. Roosevelt said, "Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the assessment that something else is more important than fear." Those who are willing to sacrifice in the service of others exemplify this idea. Courage also plays a significant role in authenticity. Modern technology has allowed people around the world to connect in ways never before imagined. One of the unintended consequences of this is that conflict has arisen between people of different belief systems. As a result, some people have lost themselves. They've hidden their authentic and unique qualities so they can be better accepted, to avoid judgment. It takes tremendous courage to reveal one's authentic self. People of different cultures and ethnicities are subject to stereotyping, discrimination, even violence. People of faith have become the object of ridicule in modern pop culture. Even something as benign as who a person falls in love with can make them a target for hate. In the age of social media and celebrity culture, unrealistic body imaging and online bullying have caused many to feel inadequate or even self-destructive. Again, it is courage that allows one to be themselves, no matter the circumstances. Steve Jobs summed it up nicely when he said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life." Hand in hand with authenticity is vulnerability. For most of us, it can be scary to be completely honest with someone, to show our true feelings, to step outside of our comfort zone and try new things. We feel vulnerable to rejection, criticism, ridicule, or failure. But without taking these actions, we cannot grow as people. We cannot build trusting relationships with others. Therefore, we must rely on courage to talk with our friend about substance abuse, or when apologizing for hurting someone, when asking someone out on a date, or asking the boss for a promotion. There is a false belief that showing emotion, that being vulnerable, is a weakness. But knowing the courage that it takes, I believe it to be a strength. If we are to sustain a civilized, prosperous society, ethical behavior must be a priority. This takes moral courage. The courage of one's convictions, to do the right thing, to stand by one's beliefs, regardless of criticism or consequence. It takes moral courage to speak out against injustice like racial inequality. It takes moral courage to report a coworker who is stealing from the company, or to resign from a high-paying job because the company is harming the environment. Billy Graham said, "Courage is contagious. When a brave man takes a stand, the spines of others are often stiffened." Not only does this speak to the courage of one's convictions, this illustrates how courage is involved in leadership. Courage is contagious. It usually just takes one person to step up to do the right thing, then everyone else follows. Nowhere is this more prevalent than in the world of sports. Sports provides the framework for people to exercise qualities of strong character and to display courage in all its forms. Olympic gymnast Carrie Strug showed her courage when she sacrificed her body in the service of her teammates on a quest to win the gold medal in the 1996 Olympics. Muhammad Ali personified the courage of authenticity when, abiding by his Muslim faith, he refused military service. The women who came forward to testify against Dr. Nassar in the sexual abuse scandal that plagued U.S. gymnastics showed tremendous courage of vulnerability. And Colin Kaepernick, whether you agree with his methods or not, showed the courage of his convictions when he took a knee during the national anthem to call attention to police brutality, a move that ultimately cost him his job. Because sports is so celebrated in today's culture, it provides a platform for courageous leaders to make a difference in the world. Joe Ehrmann, former NFL star and subject of the book Season of Life, is using his platform to teach boys how to become men. Joe Ehrmann believes all boys are given in our culture a threefold criteria for what it means to be a man. The three components of what he termed false masculinity: athletic ability, sexual conquest, and economic success. He believed these lead to tremendous dysfunction in both marriages and relationships. In his Building Men for Others program, Ehrmann's code of conduct for manhood involved accepting responsibility, leading courageously, and enacting justice on the behalf of others. However, not everyone is destined to be a Muhammad Ali. For most involved in coaching and athletics, their courageous acts will not garner that kind of attention, but that does not make them any less valuable. Coaches, athletic administrators, and players must have courage to face a multitude of challenges, from risk to injury, fan and media criticism, facing ethical dilemmas. With winning becoming more and more important in the business of sports, ethical lines are being crossed. This again shines a light on the need for moral courage. Coaches need to prioritize their players' welfare over winning. They need to do what is right, even when it comes at great cost, even if it means losing their job. I'd like to conclude with a poem that my dad would always recite to me while I was growing up. How Did I Die? By Edmund Vance Cook. Did you tackle that trouble that came your way with a resolute heart and cheerful, or hide your face from the light of day with a craven soul and fearful? Oh, a trouble's a ton, or a trouble's an ounce, or a trouble is what you make it. And it isn't the fact that you're hurt that counts, but only how did you take it. You are beaten to earth. Well, what's that? Come up with a smiling face. It's nothing against you to fall down flat, but to lie there, that's disgrace. The harder you're thrown, why the higher you bounce. Be proud of your blackened eye. It isn't the fact that you're licked that counts. It's how did you fight and why. And though you be done to the death, what then? If you battled the best you could, if you played your part in the world of men, why the critic would call it good. Death comes with a crawl or comes with a pounce, and whether he's slow or spry, it isn't the fact that you're dead that counts, but only how did you die.